here from Stockpile Hobbies, who's going to explain to us a little bit about the Sick Dragon slot car timing system, drag strip style. Woo, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is.
So I figured I could show you guys, and you would forget because I wouldn't remember the correct way to do it, or I could have Steve do it, who's done hundreds of these videos and knows exactly what he's talking about. So, being as smart as I am, let's go with Steve. Steve, thanks for joining me, bro. I absolutely appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Dan. This is awesome.
So we're gonna have a look at the tower here, and of course, what I did is Steve had me reset it. And this is how it would show up if you had the sensors set correctly under the track and there was nothing over top of any of the sensors. So here we are. This would be the basic start right here.
Right. So as Dan mentioned, there's no car stage, and you see in the background he has a light on top of the sensors. The photo eyes need light before you put any cars on or anything. And once you have that, you get the screen we see now with the one lane is turned on. So what we want to do now is we want to turn on the second lane. And we have a series of buttons here on the top of the clock tower that let us do that. Starting with the left, we have a mode button followed by L1, L2 at the bottom. That's lane 1, lane 2. So the first thing we do is we push the mode button once. And we look at the front of it and we see a P01, I believe, Dan?
Yep.
Can you just bring the camera down a little bit? There it is. Okay, so now to turn on the second lane on top there, we're going to hit the lane 2 button, which is the third button from the left. And that has now turned on the second lane. At this time, you also have the option to turn off the first lane if you want. You can run just one lane, but you cannot run it with no lanes turned on. It won't let you do that. But we have the right configuration now. So now this system lets you do a Formula 1 start or lets you do a drag strip start. We want drag strip. So Dan's going to push mode one more time. And we see that it's on the Formula 1 start. This is where you see a series of lights. I believe there's 4 or 5 lights. And then it picks a random 1 through 10 seconds each time to launch the green light. But we want drag strip. We want the pro tree. So he's going to push the L1 button, and it's going to set it to drag mode. And we'll see that on the front of the tower. That's it. And now we hit mode one more time, and we are ready to race. Now, some of the other features there on top, the other 2 buttons on the right, after each race, if you want to race again, you use the reset button. That puts everything back to normal. And after a drag race or a normal race, if you got a circuit track, you can hit the display button, and that will show the reaction times versus the ETs that you get. So it's always cool to see the reaction times. Enzo and I cut some pretty cool lights there on the track. It's really fun racing, not even for times. You just sometimes racing just for best reaction times can be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that was one of the best parts I liked about this whole system and you racing there was definitely the fact that, if you're too anxious, it's not like you've totally blown it and it's all over, right? So
yeah, this car doesn't always win. It's the better driver for sure.
That's right. Yeah. He could squeeze the trigger faster, and with those plunger style garbage Auto World plungers that I have, I think they're absolutely perfect, man. Who could smash that button harder?
We used to see like a Tyco 440 car. I had a yellow Lamborghini. I still have it, but my cousin, we were filming one of the streams, and the car got faster and it warmed up, and it got faster and faster, and his reaction got better and better. It got to the point though he started cutting red lights though, but yeah, you can really see cars and seeing the performance, especially with the 4 gears. I bet running a 4-gear cold would have a much different effect than it running, warming it up right and then racing it, or after it runs a couple tracks. You'll definitely see an increase in on the Auto World cars once they've warmed up.
You're absolutely correct with that, Steve. And the reason why I say that is because you remember this car from the car and trailer set. Well, I just oiled this for a live stream that I was on, and you could actually hear it picking up as it goes. The more you squeeze the trigger, of course, it starts taking off. This one here is, of course, really old Auto World 4-gear, and I haven't oiled it yet, and it runs like absolute toilet.
Yeah, for sure. It is funny because you can hear the actual. I could hear it on my dyno. You actually hear the pitch of the engines change as it's warming up, getting better.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
You absolutely
and you said the bearing oil makes a huge difference in these cars, especially on the pancake motors. making sure that the armature is oiled and that you got the axles moved as well. I cannot stress enough how important it is. You do got to make sure to clean the cars. They will attract dust. If you have pets, they're going to attract hair too. So stay vigilant on keeping them clean as well.
Yeah. That's probably going to be a key here, especially with having 2 large breed dogs. But I do have a new tool in my arsenal now. I actually picked myself up just a normal paintbrush, and I do a little dusting because the middle of my track is silicone, black silicone, and I've went and put that auto detailer's stripe, the white stripe down the middle.
Yep.
I have to be careful what I put on it. I can still use ISO. I just have to be a little more careful, but I can't use my green scrubby because it chunks away at the side of the silicone. So that's why my new tool, this is my new scrubby.
Yeah.
I just have to be careful about keeping it clean. That's all.
Yeah, when you do the rails too, I found alcohol works good on paper towel. Just taking it down the drag strip, that works pretty good. I was using a sanding block, like a 1,000, 2,000 grit, just to lightly make them bright again. But I at the same time, I had like the glow in the dark lane markers on there, and they would rub off. But just doing alcohol on rubbing it on the track seems to be the most safest way to preserve the track and also keep the rails nice and usable.
Right. Some people also thought that the ISO would cause the plastic in the track to degrade. But I've double checked and triple checked that one, and isopropanol absolutely has no effect on this kind of plastic whatsoever. Yeah.
Nice.
Anyways, well, I don't want to keep you too long, Steve. I know you got much better things to do today, and this is my much better thing to do today. So I absolutely appreciate it one more time, brother. It's time for you to build the slowest 4-gear possible and send it to me so I can race it down this.
I got some slow ones. I'll send you one. I'll send you a fast one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you start doing, if you consider doing that, Dan, get people to send some cars in, we can do some racing.
Yeah, brother, you bet, man. Absolutely, you bet. Yeah, you don't have to have a track to do some racing. You just have to have a place to put your car.
Right. I'm all for it.
Awesome, Steve. Thanks, brother. Take it easy.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
You too.